Welcome to the Heroes of a Century, an informative podcast about famous heroes over the centuries.
In this episode, we'll be discussing one of the most famous heroes of all time, Bilbo Baggins.
We'll be discussing how he goes underway with a dramatic internal transformation, evolving his growth for love for adventure, finding self-acceptance, and building trust among his allies.
As we discuss Bilbo's adventure, we discover what friends and allies he makes, how he's put to the ultimate test, how he grows from it, and how he develops as a hero throughout his journey. With the use of Campbell's model, we can trace the progress of Bilbo from the reluctant to competent hero. We'll be looking at two stages in the model, the test, allies, and enemies, and the ordeal in the abyss.
So, without any further ado, let's take a deep dive into one of the most influential heroes of the century.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit, a worthless, unambitious hobbit.
A hobbit with love for comfort and extreme aversion for adventure. Bilbo could only just manage tea bags and bacon. He could most definitely not handle a full-scale adventure. But we find how he grows into an adventurous hero throughout the test, allies and enemies, and the ordeal into the abyss.
As Bilbo set out to accomplish a dangerous goal, he struggles to make his first allies, when Gandalf the Grey, a mysterious wizard, nominates Bilbo as the burglar of the mission. None of the dwarves, not even Bilbo, believes in himself to be the courageous burglar. Although, Gandalf defends his statement. Let's have no more argument. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough of all of you. If I say he is a burglar he is, or will be when the time comes.
Tolkien uses a range of techniques to further enforce Gandalf's proposition and highlight the latent heroic qualities he sees in Bilbo that Bilbo does not yet see in himself. Here he is repeatedly using pronouns such as he and him to show it is directed towards Bilbo, and not collectively for the dwarves. The answer metably, if I say he's a burglar he is a clear emphasis of the faith in Bilbo. He knows that the hobbit, being neither strong and tall, nor battle-worn and experienced, would have difficulty fighting his way out of physical conflict, but he knows that Bilbo has a talent for words and will be able to talk his way out of a mediate between both friends and enemies. With Gandalf's help, Bilbo successfully makes his first allies, the famous 14 dwarfs. Gandalf's help was critical for Bilbo's friendship development, as Bilbo would not be able to begin his journey towards becoming a hero if Gandalf did not have any faith in him.
Extended validation of Bilbo's sustained growth and maturity is shown through the ordeal in the abyss. When Bilbo was put at his greatest low point and was confronted by the ultimate test he needs to overcome, Bilbo developed sophisticated social skills as he was put through an extremely challenging event, choosing as enemies the Lakeman and the Elven King over his allies, Thorin and company.
Bilbo's moral decision to prioritize his enemies by leaving the dwarves is motivated by his desire to ensure the very safety of the dwarves themselves, his allies. Realizing the best way out of conflict is peaceful one, he bargains with the Lakeman and Elven King intelligently, leveraging Thorin's excessive desire for the Arkenstone.
As Bilbo takes the Arkenstone as his 14th share of the treasure, he then trades it to the Elven King. This is the Arkenstone of Thorin, said Bilbo, the heart of the mountain, and it's also the heart of Thorin. He values it above a river of gold. The reference to a river of gold reflects Thorin's value towards the Arkenstone, as owning a river of gold is beyond a doubt the pinnacle of wealth. The metaphor, the Arkenstone and its place in Thorin's heart, also represents its unmistakable value. The state of its symbol of wealth for the Dwarf King Thorin is unimaginable.
Bilbo's defection from the dwarves is by one of the far most courageous acts of his short career. It also develops a strain of heroism in the novel. Bilbo's recognition of the corrupting nature of wealth exemplifies the extent to which he has grown in management of social conflict. At this point in the journey, he is on the verge of completing his transformation into a hero.
In traversing the narrative of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, we unveil a saga of growth, transformation, and heroism that Bilbo undergoes simultaneously as he travels on a physical journey. From his seemingly unadventurous beginnings as a hobbit with little risk, he undergoes a metamorphosis from a tea-loving hobbit to a stalwart hero who dares to challenge his own limits. As we partake in his journey, we witness a reminder that true heroism is much about internal transformation as it is about external feats, inspiring us to embrace our potential for growth and valor.